Hey guys, let's chat this week. All of a sudden it's winter in Georgia. Yesterday was fall. Today I'm a human popsicle. So welcome to winter/fall, wherever you may be. Okay, let's talk about what happened last week and where we're going to go with this coming week. First things first, I have received a lot of requests that late work be accepted. Late work will not be accepted in Health Science 391. That is a policy that has been set by the course lead, by the course designers, by the course council, by all the people above me. Late work will not be accepted. I am so sorry. I know that things come up. But you need to plan accordingly. If you have some kind of major emergency, like you were physically incapacitated, talk to me. You may be able to receive credit. However, there will be a significant point deduction as a result of that. I know that things come up during the semester. Trust me. I know. I've had kids hospitalized. I've moved. I've had a baby. People in my family have gotten married. All of those things in my 5 years of teaching. I think I have done all of the things during the semester. It is possible to do them. It is possible to get through this class, but you have to tell yourself, no late work will be accepted. Do not allow yourself the opportunity for excuses, because it becomes really easy to be like, okay, I'm just going to ask her. It's going to be fine. No, turn in what you have. What you have is better than no credit at all. Please, 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 no late work will be accepted. This is especially important as you have an assignment due on Thanksgiving Day. I know, who planned that? Well, yeah. There is an assignment due on Thanksgiving Day. I highly recommend that you submit that assignment the day before Thanksgiving, because I will not accept it on Black Friday. I will not be up shopping on Black Friday. I will not be doing anything that will allow me to accept that assignment. And here's the great thing. If you think that you are tricky and that you're just going to slip in that assignment under the radar, unfortunately, I do receive an email every time an assignment is submitted. And if an assignment is submitted late, luckily, in all caps, it says late assignment submitted, and your assignment is marked red in Canvas, so I know it was late. You cannot sneak it in. That being said, if you do have a major emergency, let me know. But this is also a really good opportunity to stay ahead of the game. You're always welcome to turn in stuff early. You are not welcome to turn in stuff late. Okay, that being said, peer review. If you didn't submit your own paper for the peer review, but you reviewed someone else's paper, you will receive partial credit. If you turned in your paper but did not review anyone else's, you will receive partial credit. If you turned in your paper late, you will not be happy with the grade. If you turned in your reviews late, you will not be happy with the grade. But this is the final time that late work will be considered. Going forward, late work will receive a 0. So, peer review. I hope that the peer reviews were good. I hope it was a good experience for you to see how to review and to be critical of someone's paper with the rubric in mind, and that you were able to apply some of those things to your own paper. I hope that you were able to take those suggestions provided to you by your peers and make necessary corrections so that your lit review is significantly better. A couple of things to remember as you go through that. Each paragraph needs to be on one topic. So if you were talking about sleep and its effect on mental health, and you're specifically talking about sleep and its effect on anxiety, you want a paragraph on anxiety, another one on depression, another one on other mental health related issues. You do not want to put anxiety, depression, all the mental health in one super long paragraph. That is confusing. That will not make your point. You want smaller paragraphs related to one topic. That being said, you can have more than one source in a paragraph, but you need to make sure that paragraph is on one topic. It's okay to have a section that says, for example, sleep and mental health, and then have a paragraph on depression, a paragraph on anxiety, a paragraph on other mental health issues, and it's all under that umbrella of mental health. But each paragraph needs to be on one topic. Remember, a paragraph is probably between 5 and 10 sentences long. It is not 20 sentences long. Please do not let it be 20 sentences long. Another thing, if you are choosing to use your signal phrases, make sure that you use them correctly. Remember, it's the author or author's last name, and then the parentheses just go around the year it was published. You don't need to say the name of the article or where it was published or the volume number, any of those things. It's just the author's last name and the year that it was published. Remember that as you're going through those, you want to explain a little bit about the study, give it some context, but you don't need to summarize every single part of all of these studies that you reviewed. This isn't a summary. This isn't an annotated bibliography. This isn't even the synthesis grid. You're taking that information, you're synthesizing it, connecting it to other ideas. You're not just giving me a blanket summary. Each paragraph should not be a summary of one of your sources. Each paragraph should be connected to different sources, present different ideas, transition from one idea to the other clearly. Make sure that your transitions between paragraphs are first there, and then second, that they are good. It needs to make sense. Why am I going from this idea to this idea? Does this end abruptly? No. Also remember that the final paragraph in that lit review is eventually going to be what builds up to your research question. So it's going to be, as a result of these studies being conducted, these holes in the literature were identified, a new research project was started, based on the following research questions. That basic general idea. This is going to be where you transition from previous research on over to your research study. Also, as you move forward, this lit review might be cut down a little bit in that final research report. There is a page limit on that final research report. You will need to be respectful of that page limit because I will stop reading when we get to the end of that. So there may be sections of this that you ultimately decide to cut out, and that is totally fine. If you would like an early review from the instructor, again, I'm happy to do that. Please make sure that you submit it to me by this evening. So November 12th, and I will get it back to you sometime on November 14th, which is Thursday. I will be at a conference all day Thursday. I will not be looking at these papers. So the sooner that you get it in, hopefully the sooner that you get some information back. So peer review, that's kind of where we are with that. Now let's move on to JASP. This week we are talking about JASP. Yay! If you have questions about JASP, there are 2 videos. One takes you through the practice assignment, one takes you through the paper assignment, or prepare. The first one I think is called prepare, and then the other one is that paper practice. The prepare assignment, the first one that deals with gym preference in BYU Idaho students, that one you have nothing to turn in, but it is helpful to go through that video at the very least and read through the assignment directions so you kind of get an idea of how to set up JASP. The other one, the paper assignment, you do have to submit something. I also have included, not a template, but an example of what I want your write-up to look like. This shouldn't take you forever to write it. There's not a ton of information, but as you can see, it goes research question by research question. It includes text and then the table that supports that text. This is how you need to submit your write-up for the JASP assignment. If you do not submit it like this, you will not get a grade that is an A. Also, for that JASP assignment, you must submit both 2 things. One, your JASP file. Make sure that you save it. Because I need to go through and make sure that you set up the variable correctly. Part of your points for this assignment are that you set the data up correctly. And then another file is a Word document that looks very much like what I posted. I'm not saying that that's a template because it's not. I don't want you to copy what I wrote word for word. But I need you to go along those same lines. You need the descriptive statistics. You need research question number 1, answers. You need research question number 2, answers. All of this needs to be in APA format, including the tables and figures. Look through that rubric. It is very specific about the tables or figures that you need to include. As you'll notice, I believe it's for research question number 2. I did not include all of the plots, and that's because when you run your JASP analysis, I believe we'll see it. Some of them are just too jumbly to make sense of what they say. If the figure doesn't make sense, don't include it. JASP has a problem with that. If you did feel that that was something really important to include in a research report, you would probably import that data to Excel and create the file or the plot there, because it would be easier to adjust some of those little formatting things. But look at what I did. You need to include all of those tables, but with real information, not X's. You need to include all of those tables that I included, and then you need to include your paragraphs where you write about them. As you'll see also in that text, some statistics are included. For example, the standard deviation or the ranges, stuff like that. You need to make sure that when you are including statistics in text, that is also done in APA format. And that example paper shows you what I am looking for. So please make sure you do that. Make sure that you also include that running head, the page number, all of those important details that we are trying to drill into our heads this semester. APA format is important. I'm happy to help you if you have questions with the JASP assignment, but you must first, please listen, you must first watch those 2 videos, look through the data, try, and then look through that example paper, because it's really easy to say, Sister Sucre, I don't understand how to do JASP, and I've never opened the program before. Okay, that's awesome, but you have these resources available to you. Please use them, because it will really help me as I try and answer your specific questions. If you can say, hey, you said this in the video, I don't know what you said, you were mumbling, you skipped over things, could you explain it to me differently? I am 100% happy to explain it to you differently, but go through and tell me how I explained it to you wrong the first time so that I know how to not repeat myself. Another thing on that JASP thing, I am happy to answer your questions, but I am not happy to answer them on Saturday at 10 o'clock at night. It is too late at 10 o'clock at night, so look at JASP early in the week. Please look at JASP early in the week so that those questions can get answered in a timely fashion. Okay, let's move on to the lit review. You are submitting your final lit review on Saturday, as well as the JASP assignment. It is a busy week. Remember, you need 10 sources. It needs to be 5 to 7 pages, and you are 100% going to follow the rubric. I'm excited for you that you're following the rubric. Remember that short paragraphs are okay. Like I said, when we talked about the peer review, short paragraphs are okay. Umbrella headings are okay. Just make sure that the organization is good. Make sure that you have transitions. Read it out loud. Again, you've changed things. Pick your favorite victim to read it out loud. My unfortunate husband has read so many things aloud that he has learned so much about public health and art history that his little accountant heart never would have known. So consider doing that. Please consider doing that. Another thing is that is due on Saturday. For real. For real, it is due on Saturday. It is not due at like 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. It is due on Saturday. Canvas will put a timestamp on your submission. Only those assignments submitted on time will receive a score. That is, yeah. Okay, so let's transition away from the lit review. Your survey should be open right now. You should have all received feedback from the IRB. If you haven't already, please let me know, because we need to track that down and make sure that you receive approval from the IRB. Your survey should be open and collecting data right now. Remember, we're keeping it open for that 7 to 10 day window. So once you reach the halfway point, you need to repost, re-email, re-whatever to send that again and see if you can collect more responses. Your results section, oh, okay. So the survey should close probably by Saturday or Sunday of this week. You need to give yourself plenty of time to do that data analysis. You need to give yourself time. Remember that your data analysis is going to resemble the JASP write-up in a lot of ways. That demographic section, or that descriptive statistics section, is also going to include demographics for your results section. You need to say who answered your results, not saying like 50% of respondents said that sleep was important. That's awesome, but who are these 50% of respondents? Who answered this? So you need to provide that, which is missing from that JASP assignment. But it will look a lot like it. There will be some tables, there will be text. This is due on the 23rd, so not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday. And we'll talk a little bit more about that early next week. You are welcome to analyze the data in JASP. You are welcome to analyze the data in Qualtrics. You are welcome to analyze it in Excel. You just need to analyze it and write about it in a way that answers your research question thoroughly. 2 sentences does not answer your research question thoroughly. 2 sentences in 1 table does not either. This is probably going to be about a page of information. Please make sure that it is good information, because you are answering your research question. This is why we did the project. And then finally, a draft of your final, I want to say it right, experimental report and your presentation, your poster presentation, are due on Thanksgiving Day. which is unfortunate. Please don't turn it in on Thanksgiving. Please turn it in on Wednesday so that you can have a happy and delicious Thanksgiving. So then we're going to go through that same cycle, that same peer review cycle, where you'll be assigned several people and you will review their assignments. They will review yours. Eventually, we will turn our final experimental report and final poster in on the 14th of December, but we're starting to get down to crunch time. So that experimental report and the poster are both drafts, are going to be due on Thanksgiving. But you have a lot of this done already. By that point, you would have had your results and discussion completed. You have already done the methods, and the lit review becomes the introduction. So you have the vast majority of it done. You're just going to need to kind of make edits and changes. I will get that feedback to you as soon as humanly possible. There is a lot of feedback. We are done with oral feedback. It takes a long time, and I don't know that you liked it as much. So there's just going to be written feedback. It's going to be awesome. Let me know if you have questions. But that is where we are headed in the next few weeks. It is busy. Also put on your calendar, book for it. There will be poster sign up. So you have to present your poster to someone, and you get the privilege of presenting it to peers and some Health Science 391 instructors. You do not necessarily have to sign up to present to me. You can sign up to present to one of the other 391 instructors. There is, I'm trying to remember their last names. They're Sister Maxfield, Dr. Jepson, and Dr. Standerfield. I might be saying that wrong. Tyler. You can present to any of the four of us based on those sign-up times. You'll just need to make sure and do that. Keep in mind, whoever you are presenting to is also the person that is grading you. So if you don't feel comfortable having another instructor grade your work, then you need to sign up to present to your instructor. I believe my times are going to be Tuesday and Thursday mornings, as well as Thursday and Friday evenings. And those presentations are going to take place the week of, I should know this in advance, huh? Those are going to take place the week of December 9th. So you will need to sign up for a time sometime between December 9th and December 14th, but more information will come out about that soon. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please let me know. Best of luck with the JASP assignments and completing your literature reviews over the next few days.